Hi everyone, in this video we're going to develop the exercises from 10 to 12 of chapter 4, the market forces of supply and demand. This is a book of Gregor Mankiw which is called Principles of Economics. So the seventh question says, ketchup is a complement as well as condiment for hot dogs. If the price of hot dogs rises, what happens to the market for ketchup, for tomatoes, for tomato juice, for orange juice? Okay, so first we're going to talk about the ketchup market. So as we noticed, they are complements. The hot dogs are complements of ketchup. Okay, so now we are talking about the ketchup market. Here we have in the X the quantity of ketchup, and in y-axis the price of ketchup. So here we have the initial condition when we have that, but imagine that the price of hot dog rises. So what does it mean? It means that the price of ketchup is going to, the quantity demand is going to be less. Okay, because in this case, because you consume ketchup with hot dog, so you're not going to consume more of this ketchup given the rise of the price of hot dogs. So this one, the demand curve is going to shift to left. So what's up in the ketchup market? The price will go down as well the quantities. Okay, this is D2. Now we'll have to talk about the tomatoes market. So when here is the initial condition. So how we can think about it? Ketchup, you need tomatoes, right? But if there's going to be less quantities in the market, so in this case the demand for tomatoes is going to decrease because there's not going to be produced the same quantity of ketchup. So this is going to be the similar situation of the ketchup market. The demand is going to shift to left, and the effect of this change is going to be a decrease in prices and a decrease in quantities. The other market is the tomato juice. So here we have, okay, so now the price in the tomato market is lower. So the tomato juice needs as input tomatoes, and tomato the price decrease. So it means that the input decrease the price of this one. So in this case the supply can increase, so it's going to shift to the right in this case. So the price of the tomato juice is going to decrease and the quantities are going to increase. Okay, this is the change. Now for the orange juice market. So here is orange juice. So here we have the initial condition. So in this case, given that the price of tomato juice decrease, so there's going to be a decrease in the demand of juice market. If we think that juice market the juice, orange juice and tomato juice, they are substitutes. So if the price of tomato juice decrease, we are going to consume less of orange juice because instead of drinking orange juice, we are going to drink tomato juice. So it's going to be a decrease in demand, so the price is going to decrease in the quantities as well. So this is the point. Now the next point. The case study presented in the chapter discussed cigarette taxes as a way to reduce smoking. Now think about the markets for other tobacco products such as cigars and chewing tobacco. Are these good substitutes or complements for cigarettes? So I would say they are substitutes. under certain conditions, we can say that people that like nicotina, they have a substitute. Maybe they are not perfect substitute, but they are substitute between cigarettes, cigars, and chewing tobacco. I mean, there is, I don't know too much people that they consume three at the same time. They just consume one of them. Okay. So B, using a supply and demand diagram, show what happens in the markets for cigars and chewing tobacco if the tax of cigarettes is increased. So now here we are in the cigars market. Here we have the quantities and the price. This is the demand and the supply. These are the equilibrium prices and quantities. So given the tax in cigarettes, it means that the price on cigarettes is going to increase, right? So in this case, maybe some people they cannot afford this change of price, so then they will consume more in the cigar market. So there's going to be a shift to the right for the demand curve, and which is going to be the effect. So the effect is going to be an increase in prices as an increase in quantities. On the other side, in the chewing tobacco, sorry, here for the chewing tobacco, and here we have the demand and supply. Those are quantities of equilibrium for price and quantities, and it's gonna be analogous change as the previous one. So it's going to be a shift to the left, to the right, sorry, for the demand curve, which is going to be the effect of an increase in quantities as an increase in price as well. Okay. So if policymakers wanted to reduce total tobacco consumption, what policies could they combine with the cigarette taxes? So they can, if they want to eliminate all tobacco consumption, maybe policymakers they would think about tax for cigars and chewing tobacco as well. So it's going to be a tax for all the products. So in this case, there's going to be a change, okay, in the prices and quantities. But it can be a campaign. It could be together with a public policy. Maybe some campaign marketing of the effects, the side effects of smoking or of consuming these kind of products, and education as well. With these characteristics, they can take the demand curve shift to the left completely, because people the tastes of people change completely. It was more or less campaign are campaigns are doing, but taking account that the taxes, even the government receive a lot of money for taxes, and there is still a great like taste, for a great pleasure for smoking around the world. But it could be kind of these policies. So 9, the market for pizza has the following demand and price schedules. So here we have the prices from 4 to 9, and here we have the quantity demanded. So at the price of 4, people demand 135. Once the price is going up, the demand quantity is going down. This is negatively related. On the other side, we have the quantity supply, which start from 26 at price of 4, and it goes up. Okay, so this is the case where it's positively related. So graph the demand and supply curves. What is the equilibrium price and quantity in this market? If the actual price in this market were above the equilibrium price, what would drive the market toward the equilibrium? If the actual price in this market were below the equilibrium price, what would drive the market toward equilibrium? Okay, so here first we're going to graph the demand schedule. So here we have the y-axis, the price of pizzas measured in dollars, and here we have the quantity of pizzas. So at price of 9 we have okay, here let me see, at the price of 9 we have here the quantity demand. In this case, okay, the price 9 is going to be 39 here. At the price of 8 we have 53. At the price of 7 we have 68. At the price of 6 we have 81. And at the price of 5 we have 104. And at the price of 4 we have 135. Okay, so and after I just join the points and I have here the demand curve, okay, which is downward slope. Okay, we already knew it. Now we are going to graph the supply. So it's going to be at the price of 4 is going to be 26. Okay, at the price of 5 is going to be 53, and the price of 6 is going to be 81. At the price of 98 is going to be 7, and at the price of 110 is going to be 8, and at the price of 121 is going to be 9. So this is like kind of weird, but this is going to be the supply curve. Okay, so what about the quantities and price? It's going to be where the demand quantities are exactly the same as the supplied quantities. This is going to be the case of 81 pizzas at the price of $6. So imagine that the market is below. So imagine that the price is 5. So in this case, imagine that we are here. So it means that the supply is less than the demand. Okay, it's going to be an excess of demand. More people are willing to pay, are willing to consume, but there is no more. So given that, the it takes us to the equilibrium price, because the suppliers, they realize that there are still people that they want to buy pizza and they can produce more and they can have more profits, so they're going to increase the price from 5 to 6. Okay, in the other side, when we for example we are in $7 and we have just 68 pizzas, in this case there's going to be an excess of supply. Okay, in excess, yeah, supply. So in this case there is more there's like stock of pizzas that they just like go to waste because they are there but no one buys them. So in this case, the suppliers, they can think that they can sell everything if they make decrease the price from 7 to 6, and they will face the equilibrium prices and equilibrium quantities. So these are often eaten together, they are complements. So we observe that both the equilibrium price of cream cheese and the equilibrium quantity of bagels have risen. What could be responsible for this pattern? A fall in the price of flour or a fall in the price of milk? Illustrate and explain your answer. So I'm going to see if it's true when the fall in price of flour. So if, as you know, flour is an input of bagel. Okay, so remember, when the price of an input changes, it implies a change in the supply. In this case that it is a fall in the price of 4, it's going to shift the supply curve to the right, which because the supply increases. So here we have the equilibrium prices and equilibrium quantities. So here we have the increase, so with the shift to the right for the supply curve, and we have this one, so decrease in price and an increase in quantity. So we see here which the equilibrium price, the equilibrium quantity of bagels have risen. Okay, we see here how the equilibrium quantity of bagels have risen. Now we have to see that the equilibrium price of cream cheese increased. So now remember that the cream cheese is a complement. Here we have the initial case. So as cream cheese is a complement, and the complement of this one, the bagel, the price decrease, so we have more incentives to consume more cream cheese. So the demand curve is going to increase. So the demand curve is going to shift to the right. So in this case, as you see, we will face an increase in prices for cream cheese and an increase in quantities for bagels. Okay, we have both things. Now the B point says, suppose instead that the Cleveland price of cream cheese has risen, but the Cleveland quantity of bagels has fallen. What could be responsible for this pattern? A rise in the price of flour or a rise in the price of milk? Illustrate and explain your answer. So let's see the rise in price of milk. So again, we have here milk is an input for the cream cheese. So as a rise in the input, in the price input, we will see how for the supply is worse. So the supply is going to decrease. So the supply decreases with a shift to the left. Okay, here we have shift to the left, and we see here this is going to be the equilibrium price of cream cheese has risen. So here we see how the equilibrium price of cream milk cheese has risen. So in the other case, we have the quantity and price of bagels. So we are now in the bagel market. So here we have the initial position. Now, because the price of the meat of the cream cheese increases, so it means that is my complement. So I will consume less bagel because it's more expensive because I need to consume with cream cheese. So in this case, the demand curve is going to decrease, and the demand curve decreases with a shift to the left. So in this case, we see here, as we say here, the equilibrium quantity of bagels has fallen. Here we see how the equilibrium quantity of bagel has fallen. Okay. The next point says, suppose that the price of basketball tickets at your college is determined by market forces. Currently, the demand and supply schedules are as follows. So here we have the price of the tickets from 4 to 20, okay, and those are the quantity demanded. So we see here how the demand start to decrease where the price goes up. At the price of 4, we have 10,000 entries demanded, but the price 20 we have just 2,000. Okay, here's 10,000. Sorry. So here the first question says, draw the demand and supply curves. What is unusual about the supply curve? Why might this be true? And what are the given price and quantities of tickets? So here we're going to graph first the supply and the demand. So here we have the price of 20, of the price of 16, okay, at the price of 12. So here at the price 16 we have 4,000, the price of 20 we have 2,000, at the price 12 6,000, at the price of 8 we have 8,000, at the price of 4 we have 10,000. Okay, so here we have the first, which is the quantity demanded, which is downward slope, okay, as we already saw before. So here we have the other case, the quantity supply, which you realize for every price we have 8,000. Okay, and this is the supply. So which is the quantity on prices? It's going to be where the quantity demanded is equal to the quantity supply. In this case, it's going to be this one, which is this, the price of 8. You see here the price of 8, we have 8,000, where the supply is equal to demand. So why might this be true? Well, this be true because of the seats. If you realize in this stadium, we just have a fixed seats. We cannot, like, in theory, put more seats or take out seats. So in this case, at every price, we just have a fixed quantity of supply of good supply. It could be like a similar case for rooms in a hotel, because we just have a limit We cannot offer more than that. So this is going to be the limit. It's going to be just the supply. There is no more option. So this might be true. Okay. The C. Your college plans to increase total enrollment next year by 5,000 students. The additional students will have the following demand schedule. Now, add the old demand schedule and the demand schedule for the new students to calculate the new demand schedule for the entire college. What will be the new equilibrium price and quantity? So here we have the table with the quantity demanded before, and here we have here with the old quantity demanded, and here we have the quantity with the quantity demanded now. As you realize here, if we sum both quantity demanded and all quantity demanded, we have the all quantity demanded now, and here is the quantity supply. So in this case we will see that this is going to be the new price. So given the higher demand for the new student, we pass from a price of of 8, so we go to a price of 12. Okay, there's going to be an increase in the price. So the last says an article in the New York Times described a successful marketing campaign by the French champagne industry. The article noted that many executives felt giddy about the stratospheric champagne prices, but they also feared that such sharp price increases would cause demand to decline. Which mistake are the executives making in the analysis of the situation? Illustrate your answer with a graph. So here we have the initial condition when we have the demand and supply. Those are the equilibrium prices and quantities. So imagine that there is a successful marketing campaign. What does it mean? It means that there increase in demand because more people see the champagne. So in this case, there's going to be a change in tastes because more people would like to try consume that. So in this case, there's going to be an increase of the demand shift to the right. So as we see here, instead of increasing or despite of increasing the prices, we see here instead that the quantities have risen as well. So this could be the mistake that the executive have made. Okay, I hope it has worked. Have a great success with economics and see you in the next video. Bye bye.